Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's get stuck into some price action. I'm back at home, so I've got my computer, which means I'm ready for the stream tonight. So if you want to join the Patreon, there's links in the description below. We do 2 live streams a week, and one of them will be tonight. Right, so long story short, there's 2 ways to view this situation with Ethereum. The first way to view it is that we've got a technical breakout, and that breakout has a target of $7,000. That because you can measure the mouth of the symmetrical triangle, and it basically measures up to $7,100. There's nothing much more to it than that. I mean, that is basically where I've got the price target from. It's a bit of a half-baked way of measuring a potential top on this. The best way to really look about it is to see if it's losing steam, running out of momentum. But technically that is a price target, and that is a valid way to look at it. Other than that, though, really, the next step would be to see us move into 4,800, because that is the previous all-time high. We've not got there yet. I don't know if anyone keeps their eye on trading volume, but trading volume yesterday on Binance for Ethereum, it was like over 3 billion, whereas Bitcoin was down to 1 point something billion, which is still massive, to be honest with you. I remember the days when you could see like a quarter billion was like huge, but not these days. Billions are pretty normal these days. So with Ethereum, what we've got to look for is, all right, is there any warning signs? Well, there's one drive of hidden bearish divergence on the RSI over here for the weekly only. On the daily, there's multiple drives of bearish divergence, which could even lead to a pullback starting right now. A pullback only, not a dump, not retraced to $800 or whatever. Just a pullback, and based on the daily, the area I can't get my words out. The obvious areas are going to be around 3,900, 3,750. Just major moving averages basically on the way down. You can also look at the 4-hourly though, because even though Sunday is a pretty crap day usually for trading, it might be the case that we're looking for a bounce around here as well. The 10 exponential gives you 4,150, center of the Bollinger Band 4,000 flat, then 50, and then so on and so on. No bearish divergence on the RSI on this, just one major, a huge whopping, well it's 2 actually, drives on the money flow index. So it is ripe for a pullback. It's only fair that we get one. And Sunday is an appropriate day to get one. But it might not happen, so who the hell bloody knows. Bitcoin is just doing its own thing. Let's have a quick look at XRP. It's already consolidated all the way down to a 21 and a 20. So it's sitting at an appropriate place for a bounce and continuation. But I don't know if it's able to do it on its own. It might need the rest of the market. If Ethereum's the leader right now, and Ethereum is the altcoin, and that sort of navigates the total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and the Bitcoin dominance chart, maybe altcoins can't move up on their own without Ethereum. But I could be wrong. I'd like to be wrong on that one. XRP on the daily is still looking pretty good for continuation, just generally speaking, above all moving averages at this point after that burst earlier on in the week. And the weekly, single drive double drives bearish divergence, marking that particular peak. But I still believe this has got plenty of room to run. We've still got the trend signal in play. Nothing to worry about when it comes to the itchy cloud on this one. Just a little bit more patience, I'm afraid. So thinking about the overall market, then let's have a quick peep at the dominance chart, which has had a little bit of a bounce, but it's basically 60% dominance. A lot of people were telling me that this was going to reverse. We were going to see new highs here, as we saw previously over here. But I didn't believe it, because we had major top signals, and I felt like, yeah, we'll bounce, but we're more likely to get rejected, because all other time frames are particularly bearish. Death cross retest, rejection on the way down. We're going to get hit in the 10 exponential here on the 4-hourly. The daily rejection on the 200 exponential as well. Incoming death crosses as well. So look, you're going to see some little bounces here and there. That's perfectly normal. But personally, I think we're headed down deeper, 58.5% dominance to begin. And we'll see if we can break that. Because if we do break that on the monthly, it would be pretty quick, pretty deadly down into the mid-40s, but until we see this area break 58.5, sorry, 57.5, 58.5, yeah, 58.5, then yeah, let's just take it step by step. The total 2. So I mean, we're looking at this on a monthly now, but let's just turn it back to a weekly. So it looks like the prophecy is on its way to completing. Low, high, high, low, high, 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 low. And then, where was everybody when this was happening? No, it's going down. It's the failed cycle. The cycle's failed. Crypto Click don't know what he's talking about. Well, here we are, approaching a new local high, after finding a new higher low, and moving towards this area where I feel like the next peak's going to be. To be honest with you, in a few weeks, to be honest. Prophecy fulfilled, really. And look, this might not be the peak, but I'm treating it as a potential major peak, if not the peak. And then I'll play the bounces thereafter. I mean, there's nothing much more to say about it, is there, really? Yeah, it looks like it's going exactly as expected. And the daily, basically, above all moving averages, trend signal in play as well, actually. Trend signal be in play as long as we're above 1.44 trillion, and higher and higher and higher over next week. So it has to kind of keep going up to keep this trend alive. That's obvious. But what I mean is it has to do it immediately, and it can't go down below this area. So it's you know, there's criteria for it to meet. It can't go below here. So it's unfortunate, I suppose, that it is a Sunday. Sundays are pretty crap. However, whether we do consolidate a little bit or pull back a little bit today, pretty sure that the dips will be for buying. And you know, personally, I mean, if you're not already in crypto, if you're not already, you know, in from lower, be a little hesitant as to what it is and why that you're buying. Should have allocated a little while ago, obviously. But, you know, I'm not here to tell you what to buy or why to buy or to do anything, really. I'm just letting you know what I do and what I expected, and here we are. Right, that's it. If you want to join the Patreon, like I say, there's a link in the description below. £7.50, you get 2 live streams a week. Ask me any questions you like. Other than that, though, hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.